Hello, everybody. Good morning. Y'all, this is going to be an interactive broadcast, so please feel free to chat in the chat room. When you are chatting, please set your chat to all panelists and attendees. It is Saturday morning, 10:30. It is March 21st. I am normally doing a live class right now in the Shibboleth Center, but you know what's going on right now in the country with the coronavirus. So now we are here live for you guys to enjoy. I'm going to make sure this goes live on Facebook. Please tell me good morning when you get on here. Tell me where you're from and how much weight you've lost if you've done that on Shibboleth. Okay, I am live in there, so that's good. That's good. Okay, we're going to give, I had a few people register online, so we're going to give that until 8:03 before I officially get started. Good morning, Amy Robertson, and make this bigger. Deb Hughes, Laurie Jackson. Wow, Laurie Jackson, 18 pounds down from Canada. Michelle Harper, Amy's down 17.6. Way to go. That is awesome. This is great. Y'all know any weight loss is great weight loss. You know, some people start this program and they only have 5 to 10 pounds to lose, and that's awesome because they lose it and that's all they wanted to do. Some people have more. So we celebrate all weight loss, all weight loss. Let's see. It is 10:33, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to get started. In today's class is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be all over the place. I'm going to explain to you some things that we do to try to help you be successful and where to find those things. But then today, I'm just going to kind of be all over the place. But the first thing I want you to know is I would love for you to share this program with a friend, a family member, anybody that you can, because it is a program that is a life-saving program. When somebody signs up to be a member of Shibboleth, if they're on Facebook, they can then go into our new member fast track group. If they're not on Facebook, they're going to get the same information via email. But we try to give you guys an opportunity to learn this in a week-long Facebook group. And there's going to be a live webinar on Sunday night, every Sunday night, of a program overview. And then on Monday night of a simple food combining. And then Monday morning through Saturday morning, there is a little video from me showing you how to use the website, because that's really important. And what I try to do with that is I try to shorten your learning curve by showing you how to use the website. So if you participate in that and pay attention to it, you will learn all the ins and outs of the most highly sought after parts of the website. Then and then there's also a little assignment from me. And if you live and do that assignment and then take that test at the end, you should know what you're doing in this program. It's really not that hard. And then you just start living it and applying it. And I'm going to tell you, there are so many different levels of growth that is going to happen for you in this lifestyle. Because in this lifestyle, I have been in it coming up on 1 year. In about 5 months, I lost 50 pounds, and I've been maintaining that for the rest of that time. And there's so many different mindset shifts that you have over that course of time, and it's just going to become more and more natural for you to do. And so you just got to keep living it, just as with anything. And so I'm going to kind of be all over the place with this, but I want you to know we do try to help people. We do webinars. Jason does challenges. There is no lack of us attempting to get people to do what we know works, but they do have to have, and you have to have, if you're sitting there, you have to have a willing and wanting heart. If you don't have a willing and wanting heart, it's not going to work. Nothing's going to work. So you have to have that. And so today, I kind of wanted to start off with a Bible verse that I read this morning when I was doing my Bible study, and it's from 1 John 5:21. It says, "Dear children, Keep away from anything that might take God's place in your hearts. You know, there are so many things that we put above God in our hearts, and sometimes food is one of them. Now, sometimes some of us that are hearing my voice right now, some of you don't do that. It's just that you didn't know the food combining stuff. And so now once you do that, it's much, much easier. But some of us, and some still put food before God in your heart. So if that's something that you do, just turn to the Lord and ask for forgiveness for that, and ask him to help you always put him first in your heart and not food or some other thing. So one thing I'm going to talk about today is in your profile. In your profile, if you have never looked at all the different things, if you have never completed your profile, please go in and complete your profile. You know, you should be keeping track of your progress by starting your progress in your profile. So once you've got your profile done, it should have a Shibboleth birthday in there. The Shibboleth birthday, so we have members that sign up and they don't get started right away, and that's okay. But if this is you, when you decide that you are ready to get started, go into your profile, click edit, and click the day that you have decided that you get started. That is your Shibboleth birthday. Now, we do have some members that then they fall off the planet and then they come back and they just want to restart everything. That's where you would also go to restart that, your Shibboleth birthday. My hope is that you get started on this and that you never fall off the planet to where you have to restart your birthday. We don't want to have to do that, because restarts are no fun. Yes, they happen, but they're no fun. So let's just try not to have that happen. So that was a little bit about the Shibboleth birthday. Now, yesterday, if you saw my post about journaling, it is so, so important that you journal. I would highly recommend that you journal your day first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, you determine your day. Your day does not determine you. So you need to journal that very first thing. Now, yesterday, I had a duel with the diet devil, a duel. And I ate my lunch yesterday, and then all of a sudden, see, my husband, he doesn't do Shibboleth. So he had some Oreo cookies and cream ice cream in there. Well, he started calling my name after lunch. And so I thought, you know, I've had 7 perfect days in a row. I am in maintenance. There is no reason I couldn't treat myself with some Oreo cookies and cream ice cream. So I sat there and rationalized having that. I walked into my computer because, see, I'd already determined I was having a perfect day. I walked into my computer, went into my journal, changed it to holiday. Then I went in there to the refrigerator, the freezer, pulled it out, stared at that ice cream. And I said, but I don't want to have a holiday today. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? See, I would have had to come back in here and journal that I was going to eat that ice cream. Well, I didn't want to journal that I was going to eat that ice cream, especially after I'd already determined in my heart and in my mind I was having a perfect day yesterday. And they have happened where I've let a perfect day go to a holiday, but I don't like it. So I decided, nope, not going to eat that ice cream. I went back into my journal and I remarked that an intermittent fasting day. And I got on the scale this morning, and just in the past week, I've gone from 139 to 136.5, and 135.5 is my 50-pound weight loss. And I try to range in between 135 and 139. So that is my little happy range that I try to do, because I have my draw a line in the sand number at 140. If I see 140, it's pedal to the metal, perfect days, back down again, just like I'm supposed to. Now, over Christmas, I had 5 holidays in a row when we were at Busch Gardens and SeaWorld and at my in-laws' house, and I saw 142. And, you know, that's going to happen in our journey. That's going to happen in our lifestyle. So what I did, I got back out on my perfect days, bam, that was gone. That is the beauty of this lifestyle. So I want y'all to keep in mind that I fought the diet devil yesterday because I journal. So if you don't journal, please make that a habit. You know how when you pick up your phone in the morning and you check messages, you see if there's any texts, you check Facebook, you check your email, you check all that. Make going to the journal part of your morning routine. Determine your day right then. Don't let your day determine you, okay? Now, journaling really does help you, and it is part of having a perfect day. If you're not journaling, it's not a perfect day. So I'm going to give you the old favorites of Travis. If you bite it, you what? You what? Y'all type it in. Make this interactive. Y'all type this in. Those of you that know this, if you bite it, you do what? You, awesome, Amy Robertson. If you nibble it, you do what if you nibble it? Yeah, you scribble it. And if you drink it, you ink it. That's awesome. And if you hog it, you log it. Awesome. Thank you for participating over here in the Zoom room. Y'all might be doing that in Facebook too, but it's easier for me to watch the Zoom room. Sorry about that. So we're going to talk about some things that people experience in the beginning. So in the beginning of your journey with Shibboleth, it's all about balancing your water and your glucose, okay? Your water and your glucose. So many people see this really big number drop on the scales their first week, and that is awesome. That is really, really awesome. So then when they hear that a lot of that was balancing water and glucose, they might get a little disappointed. Well, that's still great. It's still great. You're still losing weight. It's weight that you were carrying around. It might not have been fat, but it's some fat, but a lot of it was balancing that water and glucose. You had a decrease on the scale. It was weight you were carrying around. Nobody, and inches were lost too. Inches were lost too while you're balancing out that water and glucose. Nobody needs to carry around that excess water and glucose. So getting that out of your body is important. So we got that out of our body. It takes up space on our body. So we want to get rid of it. Part of it is we're going to excrete it. One of the ways is drinking all that water that we start drinking when we first start with Shibboleth. And you are going to be normalizing your hydration levels. You've got to normalize those hydration levels. A lot of people live in a state of dehydration and they didn't even know it. See, a dehydrated body cannot efficiently give up fat or waste. And so when we start hydrating our body properly, it can normalize that. So it's funny how we're getting more water, but we're always also losing water weight. That's important. It's normalizing our hydration levels rather than us living in a state of dehydration. So we want to get rid also of excessive glycogen. Your body is used to burning sugar as a source of fuel. And in order to burn fat as fuel, as a fuel source, you have to shift into efficient fat burning. So that is a state in which in Shibboleth we learn how to do. We learn how to get into efficient fat burning. 2 perfect days of following the Shibboleth shield, and you're on your way to turning your life around. You get into efficient fat burning. You've shifted your body into using fat as a fuel source, which is fat is really just stored energy. It's stored energy. So you're shifting your body over into using stored energy rather than glycogen as a source of energy, because over those 2 perfect days, you got rid of that glycogen, all right? So you have to understand how fat comes off your body in order to do this. See, in previous programs that you may have done, nobody ever teaches you how fat comes off your body. But Travis loves to teach people the science behind it. It really is science and just biology. And once you know how to do it, you just set your mind to doing it, okay? Now, if you follow the program, you're in a calorie deficit, okay? Because component number 4 of the Shibboleth Shield, and I'm not going over all the components today. If y'all want to do that, join me on Sunday night for that program overview webinar. The component number 4 is to portion control. We have to portion control. So if you're following the program, you are in a calorie deficit. And you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. But here's the thing. That is the second most important part of weight reduction. The first part, okay, so excuse me, I'm gonna step back. That is the second most important part of the physiological, biological part of weight reduction. There's also a mental part of weight reduction. So really the most important part of weight reduction is behavior modification. Behavior modification, that's mental. and what we're choosing to do. So that's the most important part. But speaking of physiological and biological parts, the second most important part of this is calorie deficit. So the first most important part, who can tell me what the first most important part is? I'm waiting for y'all in the Zoom room to tell me what is the first most important part of weight reduction. Okay, what is the first most important part of weight reduction? The second most important part of weight reduction is calorie deficit. Behavior modification is the first one for mental, okay, mental. What is the first for the physiological and the biological? The second one is weight reduction. No. Okay, component number 3 of the Shibboleth shield. What are we doing? Amy says shrugs. So component number 3 of the Shibboleth shield, y'all tell me what that is, and once you tell me that, you'll start to figure this out. I'm going to wait patiently. I might have to check. Okay, so food combinations. That's awesome. Y'all got it. So when you're doing the food combinations, what are you physiologically and biologically doing? Yay! Pat Johnson on Zoom. I'm sorry if I didn't see you on Facebook. Some of you on Facebook probably already have it, but that's great. Pat Johnson, very good. You're controlling insulin. That is the number one biological and physiological important part of weight reduction. The calorie deficit is number 2. Now, mentally, and the most important is behavior modification. Behavior modification, that's mental though. But the physiological part, number 1 is insulin control. We have to neutralize insulin. That's the number 1 physiological and biological part of weight reduction. Number 2 is that calorie deficit. So if you're following the program, you are in a calorie deficit, all right? So insulin, as we know, I didn't know this before Shibboleth. I did not know this, but what is insulin? It's a what? See, look, we're turning this into a classroom. That's why I called this classroom time, because I get to pull out all my teacher skills, asking questions. Yes, thank you, Lori, and both Pat and Lori. So Lori called it a hormone, which it is, and we also call it the fat bus. So it's a hormone. You know, there are different types of hormones, and this particular hormone is what kind of hormone? Growth hormone. Excellent. Now, great job. Thank you all for participating so much. Growth hormone. Now, what type of growth hormone is it? What is insulin's job? What is its specific duty to go and do? Okay, so yeah, it does help regulate some sugar, but what does it go and pick up in our body? Fat. That's right. It picks up fat. And then what does it do with that fat? Thank you, Marla. It stores it. It goes and stores that fat. So when Pat was calling it the fat bus, she's being serious. Okay. So the fat bus may sound funny, but it really is serious. So insulin's actual job is to go around and pick up any fat lipids that might be in your body at the same time that you're having an insulin release and store them. See, this insulin doesn't even know it's not doing you any favors at all. It's just doing what it's supposed to do. So it's a hormone. And it also increases appetite. It increases your appetite. Do any of us need our appetite increased? Not me. I don't. And it also destroys mitochondria. Mitochondria are the parts of the cell where cells create energy and things, and mitochondria is part of that cell. And we need healthy mitochondria to have healthy cells. You know, we don't have healthy cells, we become diseased cells. We don't need diseased cells in our body. We do not need a compromised immune system. So we need to make sure that we have healthy cells. And if insulin is something that destroys our cells, it increases appetite and it stores fat. Doesn't it make sense not to have that insulin running around in our body? Now, you know, insulin comes out and it does help regulate blood sugar. So that's the Lord's way of helping us out when we're making bad choices with food. So it comes out and it does its job. It does its job. But see, now in Shibboleth, secret alert, this is secret alert. We teach you the secrets of weight loss and wellness. This is the secret. Control insulin. Also portion control, XYZ, all that. So I hope that makes sense. And if y'all can just get that in your mind and everything, you'll just be blown away at what you can accomplish. Now, you have to buy into that. You have to buy into this knowledge. You can't just hear it and let it go in one ear and out the other. You have to say, oh yeah, this is important. This is what I need to do. If you don't buy into that, you can wishful think. You can wishful think yourself into your goal weight all you want to. Is wishful thinking going to get us where we want to be? You can pull a Zig Ziglar and you can have visions of that marvelous, sexy, hot body. You can. You can have visions of it. That's right. But it's not going to happen. You must neutralize insulin and get rid of fat. When we're doing that, we are shifting our body into efficient fat burning. Isn't it a better thing to utilize stored energy than easily accessible energy? All stored energy is fat, okay? So when I needed to lose weight this last time, because, you know, in my lifetime, I had lost 45 pounds once before, but I gained that back because I didn't know the secrets. But now I know the secrets. It's gone forever. Bless the name of the Lord. Gone forever. But this last time I had overeaten. I had overeaten by 175,000 calories. That's a lot of calories I had overeaten by. Well, now I just had to go back and get rid of those. They had become stored energy. They had become stored energy. I had to access that stored energy. So I didn't want to give my body any easily accessible energy. Easily accessible energies are your category 3s, your category 5s, and any oils that aren't the approved oils that we do, like your canola oil, vegetable oil, olive oil, that kind of thing. So you must neutralize insulin to get rid of fat. The calorie deficit helps get rid of the weight, and controlling insulin helps preserve muscle and get rid of fat, okay? Because, see, people who just calorie deficit, they're burning muscle, and we don't want to burn muscle. We got to protect our muscle and access stored fat. So the whole picture, the whole program that Travis has put together accomplishes that for us. That's why the whole thing works as a unit. So you control insulin by eating in the right food combinations, which y'all have already answered. And this is why we have that component to the Shibboleth Shield. And if you do this properly, oh, listen to this. If you do this properly and you follow the Shibboleth Shield, even with component number 5 of the Shibboleth Shield, which is the timing portion, the timing portion is, you know, we don't tell you that you have to hit component number 5 in order to have a perfect day. We give you that component number 5 timing for optimization purposes. But people aren't living the same life schedule. So you have to do that. But if you go to bed, with insulin regulated, guess what you're going to be doing overnight? You're going to be burning fat overnight. Yay! Let's use that nighttime time to burn fat. So let's go to bed with insulin regulated. Okay, we have to give you some truth, all right? Travis says that this is the best thing the Lord ever gave him. Now, I just made a little printout right here, okay? It's just a calendar, okay? It's not the pretty timing chart that we have on our website. I'm hoping that y'all know what that looks like, because I'm hoping that y'all use your journal, because when you journal, that information translates over into your timing chart. So Travis says that this is the absolute best thing that the Lord gave him when he asked for the Lord's help in developing this program. So you've got 7 days in a week, 7 days in the week. And we hope we can get you to live by this. People often let the scales dictate their mood. And if you let the scales dictate your mood, it won't be long before you're eating what, y'all? It rhymes with mood. Food, that's right. You've heard Travis say that before. If you let the scales dictate your mood, it won't be long before you're eating food. So we cannot let the scales dictate our mood. We can let our timing chart dictate our mood. So I want y'all to make friends with your journal. If you're not a journaler, please do that, because the information you put in there translates over into your timing chart. Your timing chart is a better picture of what you're doing, and that's more important to let that dictate your mood than the scales, okay? So I made some notes here. I might have to look down. You can't let the scales dictate that. You need to look at the chart for your mood. So we know it takes how many days to get into efficient fat burning? Yay, 2. Yeah, awesome. And when we get into efficient fat burning, our body is in a state where it's efficiently burning the fat. Now, we get asked all the time, how do we know that? Honestly, it's just biology. We know that because it's biology. When I was preparing for this, I was listening to a previous video. This is from Travis. This isn't from me. I'm just reintroducing it to people. So I went up and I Googled glycogen, and I Googled mitochondria. I Googled insulin and all this. And it's so funny, the words they use to describe these and how it doesn't, the words that they use, I had to read them over and over again to get, yeah, okay, by saying this the way that they're saying it, I'll have to do that another day. But I thought, wow, they are putting that fat storage so kindly. I mean, they're not really pointing out to you that it's storing and making you fat. The way that they say it was so scientific that it wasn't put in real words. See, what Travis has done, he's just put it all into real words, plain talk. As we know, he says plain talk is easily understood. So he's taken those very scientific things, because I reread that to make sense. And I went, oh yeah, okay, I get it. So I looked those words up. But we know that we get into a state of efficient fat burning because it's biology. We're also in a calorie deficit. So our program is set up that no matter what your size, if you're in a that no matter what your size, you're in a calorie deficit. So our program is set up that way, that no matter what your size, you're in a calorie deficit, because you're using the 2-hand rule. The 2-hand rule has to do, it helps you with your size, okay? And eventually, you're going to get down to just those last few pounds. Pat Johnson is down to those last few pounds. I saw you on that live the other day, Pat. You're so thin. You're so thin. I can't tell you have any left, but I know you've got your goals and everything. So when you get down to those last few pounds, you're actually going to need to expend more energy to get into that calorie deficit, But that's going to happen down the road. And it's a good thing that you get there, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get there. Now, everybody here, if you're following the program as designed, you're getting the macronutrients that you need to preserve muscle. You're getting the fiber that you need to push out what? Yeah, Pat, I know you're doing great. So we're getting the macronutrients that we need to protect our muscle. We need those macronutrients. See, protein is the building blocks of life, and we have to have those to protect our muscle. So if you're doing this program properly, you're getting that. You get the fiber to push out, yeah, Amy Robertson said it, to push out the poo. Anyway, you have to have it. I don't know why I make that face. I guess it's just saying poo in front of people. But you have to have that. And you get the carbs you need for your brain, and you're getting the fats you need for good health. You're getting everything that you need if you are putting together properly combined foods or eating the right meal replacements and those kind of things. So once you've had 2 perfect days, you get into EFB, efficient fat burning. Now, if you remain in EFB every day, you're burning more and more fat. You're burning more and more fat. It's kind of like, you know how you put money into a savings account and over the years it get compounded interest? Stay in efficient fat burning. So one of the things I teach is, once you get into efficient fat burning, string as many days as you can of efficient fat burning together, and you will be burning fat. Then guess what? A holiday is coming. Whether it is planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. But we know how to deal with it now. We get right back onto our perfect days, and we live, this awesome life of balance. This awesome life of balance, because not only do we have the guidelines in Shibboleth, we have freedom, the freedom. So, but it's all built in to work as a lifestyle. If we didn't have that freedom, it would be a diet. And we are not on a diet. We're on a lifestyle. So let's say that we have EFB days all the way through Saturday, okay? So it's hard to see. I'm going to try to get it right there. Okay. Do you see how we have perfect day, and then we have EFB days all the way to Saturday? My camera stinks. But anyway, on that Saturday, you have perfect day, and then challah meal. Okay? And then on Sunday, you're not in EFB. Okay, that's okay. But Sunday, you have a perfect day. Monday, you have a perfect day. And then you're back in EFB by Tuesday. You're back in EFB by Tuesday. Then run that EFB again. Run it again, okay? EFB. And this right here, looking at your timing chart in the website, that is what can determine your mood. Don't let the scales determine your mood, because scales fluctuate. I was like, when I weigh, did I get everything out of my bladder? You know, I weigh after I've tinkled and gone to the bathroom in the morning. Did I get everything out? Did I happen to wait later? I mean, I feel like gravity kicks in the morning and pulls you down. So I weigh immediately. And then I don't hop back on that scale again, because I don't want to see all those other things. But because I don't want to let it disturb me or anything. But if you let the scales disturb you at all, please, whatever you do, use your timing chart. That is something that you could use to determine your mood. Because if you're seeing nothing on there, because you're seeing nothing on there because you're not journaling, that could determine your mood. You need to kick yourself in the rear end and start journaling. But if you are doing the right thing, you know you're doing the right thing. Don't let the scales determine that, because your progress will show up. The progress will show up. So you use your timing chart. So you're asking yourself, when you're using this timing chart, you're asking yourself, am I doing my best? Am I doing the best I can? Am I focusing on what I can have and not what? What I can't have. That's right. Focus on what you can have, not what you can't have. There's so much on this program that you can have. Guess we actually can have everything. It just depends on what day you want to eat it on, whether it's a holiday or a perfect day. And then, so let's say you run those EFB days again, and then you do perfect meal, and a holiday. Well, you're not in EFB on Sunday, but 2 days like that, you can. Now, let's say that you do this one right here. Oh, goodness. Let's say that you have perfect day, but then you do EFB, and then you have 3 holidays in a row. 3 holidays in a row after 4 EFB days. What do you think happened then if you're in weight loss? Yeah. So anything that you did over those 4 perfect days, you probably just gained that back. So you may not have gained over where you started the week, but you gained that back. So we see that a lot. 4 perfect days and then 3 holidays. Well, that's really a maintenance strategy. That's really a maintenance strategy. Think about this. There are 12 holidays that you can use in a calendar month. Once you get into maintenance, how many weeks are in a month? There's 4 weeks in a month. If you use holidays, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what's 4 times 3? That's right. So basically, Travis is saying once you get into maintenance, we got to get to maintenance first. Once you get into maintenance, if you have, you work, then you can play. Then you work, and you play. That is a maintenance strategy. There you go. You can do that. So, yeah, the weight that you lost during those first 4 days, you just added it back during those 3 holidays. You put it all back on, and then you're thinking, this is what happens. You're thinking, hold on, I wrote these things down. Okay, so you're thinking, I hate this. I can't do this. This is no good. This is no fun. I don't want to do this. But you have to think, did you really expect to do 4 good days and then have 3 holidays in a row and lose weight on the scale? You know, did you really expect that? You can't expect that. That's not going to happen. That truly is a maintenance strategy. And so what this tells us is that when we get to goal, all we have to do is the right thing a little bit more than the wrong thing, and we will maintain that weight loss. Isn't that good news? Y'all give me some thumbs up on Zoom if you think that's good news. I think that's good news. Now, we have to get where we're going. It takes work to get where we're going. I'm not saying that it doesn't take work to get where you're going, but once you get there, we know what to do. We have a strict Monday, strict Tuesday, strict Wednesday, strict Thursday, living perfect days, not okay days, not okay. And then you have holiday. Now, you know what? By the time you get to that point, your mindset is shifted and you don't need hog trough. You could just do challah meal, maybe 2 challah meals. You know, it doesn't, your mindset changes after you've done this a while. That's why I was saying when I first started here, that your mindset changes and the growth. See, Travis likes to call maintenance also wellness, because it's one of those things that as you continue to grow in what your mind and your heart will allow you to do, that's a wellness state. And so maintenance is also wellness, and you're going to change. I mean, I've been in Shibboleth coming up on 1 year, and things have changed several times in my mindset, and I'm happy about that. Okay, so let's look at this future scenario. I don't know about y'all, but food, been there, done that. Once you get to maintenance, wouldn't you be happy if you did what we just talked about? Strict 4 days and then holidays for 3 days. I mean, what if you could snap your fingers right now and be at your happy weight tomorrow? Your happy weight tomorrow. Reset, you didn't have to do any work at all. And that now, going forward, that you just knew you had to do 4 strict days and 3 perfect days. Would you go for that? Would you go for that if you could just snap your fingers and be at your happy weight tomorrow and do that? How many of you take that deal? Yes, we would definitely take that deal. So what's holding us back a lot of times? What's holding us back? I lost everybody on Facebook, so I really wasn't paying attention to Facebook too much because it's hard. Okay, so cooking for others, Robin says, okay. Planning, okay. So a lot of discipline, yeah. A lot of those things have to do with busy lifestyles, yep. A lot of those have to do really come into play under the heading of effort, because these things get in the way and we have to exert different forms of effort and different energy to get those things done when we've got these things hindering us. So it's effort a lot of times that is getting in our way. So effort and obviously time, because it does take time to get there. So if you can mentally get over the fact that it's going to take effort and get over that it's going to take time, the war is over. The war is over if you can mentally get over those things, because then you are going to get there. And a lot of times people tell themselves it's going to be hard, and so they don't put forth the effort because they think it's going to be hard. I actually set I thought that 150 pounds, I started off Shibboleth at 185.5. So I set my goal weight at 150 because I thought 150, that sounds good. That sounds good. Do you know, I thought it was going to be hard. I thought it was going to be hard to get to the 150. I did that in 3 months. And do you know, 3 months is the blink of an eye in the span of time. In the span of time, 3 months is the blink of an eye. So, I mean, I got to feeling better in no time at all. And then I went into our maintenance program, and in maintenance, I lost another 15 pounds for a total of 50 pounds lost, which is many. Okay, so let's talk about just some different things. So let's say, how many of you like to eat hot dogs? How many of you like to eat a hot dog with chili on it? Amy does not like hot dogs. Some people do though. All right, so some people like hot dogs. Some people like chili dogs, all right? So what if I eat a hot dog on a white bun with regular chili on it? What's it gonna do? And y'all don't really have to like hot dogs to go with my example. Yes, yes, Pat Johnson, it's going to bring the fat bus, okay? You've got a white bun with some regular chili on it and some slaw. And if you eat it, what does it taste like? What's it taste like? A hot dog with chili on it and some slaw. What does that taste like? Does it taste like a chili dog? It should, because that's what it is, okay? So it tastes like a chili dog. And then you gain weight. You have the fat bus come, you have this overload, you gain weight. All right, but if I have a Healthy Life hot dog bun, which by the way, I think that Healthy Life hot dog buns changed their name to Lewis. I'm not sure. I've never purchased them, but I saw that on a Facebook post. That's right, that's right. So let's say though that you had a Healthy Life hot dog bun, which is approved, okay? And then you had a 97% lean Hebrew National hot dog. You put a little Wendy's chili or other approved chili on there, and then you put some approved slaw on there. What would you call that? You call that a Shibboleth meal. That's right. And you know what? You'd call that a chili dog, right? You'd call that a chili dog. And what does it taste like? Tastes like a chili dog. It tastes just like the other one. So what I love about this program is we can eat the same things we were eating before. We just need to switch around a few products. Once you have figured out the new products that you need to buy in the grocery store, bam, you just buy them from now on. That's what you go in the grocery store looking for now. You don't go in looking for the old stuff. You go in looking for the new stuff, and you have that at home. So you eat that chili dog and you lose weight. You lose weight. But then you say, you know what? I really like 2 chili dogs. I like to eat 2 chili dogs. I don't want just one. Great news. You can have a second serving. Y'all tell me when you can have a second serving. 4 hours later. Or if you're eating it at dinner, you can have your second serving tomorrow. Do you know how much money I save on this program? I've saved so much money in food because I'm not going and eating, you know, as much as I used to eat. I mean, I'd have to go buy food every few days. Now it lasts a long time. But you got to start having fun. You got to start having fun with this program. So you can have seconds 4 to 6 hours later or the next day. Okay, has anybody ever had any bad habits? Bad habits that you need to get rid of? And you decided, I am going to give up on these bad habits. How did it make you feel to give up those bad habits? You felt better to give up those bad habits. Do you know one of our bad habits in Shibboleth is thinking it's going to be hard? Is thinking it's going to be hard. So we got to mentally wrap our minds around this is not hard at all. So once you give up that bad habit, this whole thing just opens up. It just opens up into a wonderful, wonderful lifestyle. Um, you want to quit thinking, I'm having to give up so much, because you really aren't having to give up so much. I think the benefits way outweigh what you might feel like you're giving up. More energy, the fact that my clothes fit better, and I sure do enjoy going clothes shopping now, and I'm a clothes person. I like clothes. I've always enjoyed clothes. So my clothes fit better, everything. I mean, there are days where I go from my office to the kitchen. I skip through my living room. How many of you are skipping through your living room? I wasn't skipping through my living room before Shibboleth, but I skipped through my living room, and that's just a fun feeling to have. So you just put forth a little effort, and then we're going to kind of revisit this. You put forth the effort to get where you're going, and then boom, 4 days on, 3 days off, 4 days on, 3 days off, and you are living the rest of your life in maintenance. But right now you have to work hard, okay? Right now you have to work hard. If you're in weight loss, you do need to work hard to get it done. And working hard, though, I mean, I say that, and I don't want to scare you off by the working hard, but once you've done the work and you look back at the time that it took you, again, that's a blink of an eye. Let's say it takes you 12 months to get where you want to be. It's still the blink of an eye compared to your lifespan that you've already lived. So let's talk about this strategy. So some of you, you're going to be this Shibboleth zealot. You're going to do 7 days perfect and none off. And then there are some of you that like to take the smell the roses. So you're going to do 6 days on and 1 day off. That still works. That still works. Then when you've done that long enough, you get to a point where you're doing what I said with the work, 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 play, play, play. Sounds like a good deal to me. You have to get your mind right around that timing chart and journaling. And you need to allow the timing chart to determine your mood. The chart will not lie to you, but your scales will. Your scales will lie to you. That's right, Pat. Learning the program frees you up from thinking that it's hard. I don't think it's hard at all. I mean, I'm just living this every day, and I don't even think about it now. I just do it. So we got one last thing to talk about. We're going to hop off of here. But in your timing chart, let's say, okay, I want you to be honest. If anybody has ever done this, you determined that you were having a perfect day. You had your perfect breakfast. You had your perfect lunch. Then you're at work and you pull open your drawer looking for a pen or a pencil, and that little Kit Kat from Halloween, that little bitty Kit Kat from Halloween was sitting in your drawer, and it just winked at you and it said, hey, eat me, eat me. And so you closed the drawer, but it still kept calling your name. So you just had to eat it. And you did. You ate it, okay? You get home, and then you have yourself a perfect dinner. And nobody's seeing this. Nobody's seeing this but you and the Lord. But nobody's seeing this besides you. And then after dinner, you want a little popcorn. So you eat just a little bit of popcorn. And then you say to yourself, yep, I think that was a perfect day. You know, and so you call it a perfect day in your journal. That is an okay day. That is not a perfect day. And you just got to call it what it is, okay? That is that lukewarm day where Travis tells us in the book of Revelation, it says, I wish you were hot or cold, but you were lukewarm, therefore I spewed you out of my mouth. We do not do okay days, which are lukewarm days. We either have a perfect day or a holiday. That's it. And you know what? If you eat that Kit Kat or you have that popcorn, no big deal. You mark it as a holiday. There is grace. Grace is built in. But whatever you do, Don't call it a perfect day if it's not. Okay days don't work. Okay days, they're not where you want to be. And even when you get into maintenance, the way to maintain is by having truly perfect days, not okay days. Let me see if I was going to say anything else today. Thank y'all for going with me and looking down at my notes and everything as I was trying to prepare this lesson. Oh yeah. So unless you're going to start exercising 3-4 hours a day, then you can't have okay days. Now, I know that some people might exercise like that for a short period of time, and maybe you're willing to do that for a challenge or something like that, but that's not a lifestyle. People often aren't willing to do that for a lifestyle. So you want to make sure that you live this as a lifestyle. Okay, so let's see. Amy says, doing that takes away the supreme satisfaction you get when you actually do have a perfect day. That is true, Amy. Robin says, I did that just this week. We were up watching movies after 11 p.m. and I started snacking and had some things I shouldn't. I had to go back and change my journal. Well, Robin, first of all, thank you for going back and changing your journal, because that is important. The reason you go back and you change your journal is because you have to keep the integrity of the program strong. Because the integrity of the program is, well, we all know about integrity. And if you're not keeping the integrity of program, you're not doing Shibboleth any favor. So thank you, Robin. Oh, thank you, Pat. And thank you, Marla. So let's see. Pinky said in her testimonial that she got back into EFB after a holiday by walking 20,000 steps. Yes. And Pat says it's better to tell yourself the truth. I'm going to get back to that, Robin, okay? And Maria Brown raised her hand. Maria, if you have something to say, you want to chat it? Or did you raise your hand by accident? Okay, so yes. So Robin, I know you're new. Did you join in the gold membership, the Tiger's Eye, or are you just regular silver? Silver, okay. So what I suggest that you do, it's a $25 one-time charge. And as long as your silver level membership never lapses, your gold membership's always good. You can be a gold member. In gold membership, Travis has some gold level daily doses where he teaches you how to get back into EFB faster. And one of those is by getting 20,000 steps in the day after a holiday. You get back into EFB on that day rather than 2 days. So that's what that was about. I joined, when I first joined, I joined as a gold member right away. So I was able to have that. You also, in your drop-down menu, Robin, it also teaches you about intermittent fasting days. And in your drop-down menu, when you choose in your journal, you can choose intermittent fasting day, and you can choose a divine day. A divine day, he teaches about those too in the gold level daily doses. The divine day is when you are eating all organic, non-genetically modified, that kind of thing. So if those are some goals that you have, see, this is what's great about Shibboleth, is that we can take people who, and I'm not making fun of Hormel turkey spam when I say this, but whether you want to eat Hormel turkey spam or whether you want to eat grass-fed, grass-finished beef, we can teach you how to do this program. I love this program because it does not exclude any person. This program includes every person based on what they're willing to eat, based on their budget, based on all kinds of things. This program is inclusive, where a lot of others are just trying to get you to go to a lot of foods that are just kind of expensive for some folks, and we don't. So we teach you how to do the program, and then you choose the quality of the food that you buy, okay? But when you go to the gold membership, because obviously we're trying to teach you continued improvement in your knowledge, the next step that you would take would be, but after learning the basic program, would be learning about intermittent fasting, learning how to get back into EFB faster, and learning about divine days, which we know are good for us, okay? So that was all under the gold membership. Thank you, Maria, my friend Maria from church. Thank you. I hope you're doing well in the program. Robin, I'm just going to tell you right now, I have never gotten back into EFB after 20,000 steps. I just take my I just take my 2 perfect days and move from there. Now there's some intermittent fasting things that can also help you get back into EFB faster. And I've done that, but I've never done the 20,000 step thing myself. And then let's see what Deb says. Once you get started in this lifestyle, it's so easy and so much fun. Thank you for the inspiration. Well, thank you guys for participating with me today. I'm just having so much fun with it. I am a learner, but I'm also one of those people that likes to, once you've learned something, I want to teach it to people. See, I've got a master's degree in education. Do you know that I have been setting up classrooms since I was 5 years old? I used to teach my little Ziggy dolls. Do y'all remember Ziggy, the little round-headed Ziggy character? I'd set my little Ziggy dolls up, and I would teach them. I set up classrooms in my garage. I had chalkboards. I mean, I had workbooks, and my mother bought me workbooks at the store all the time. I have a workbook done in a night. I mean, I would do that workbook. So I'm one of those people that loves to learn. But in the process of learning, I don't want to just keep that information to myself. I've got to share it. I've got to share it. So, oh my goodness, I'm so thankful that the Lord has given me this creative outlet and teaching outlet with Shibboleth. I was just praying about that. I was on my knees earlier, right before this, literally at 10:15 before this, I was on my knees praying, Lord, help me say the right things today that get the folks that join in here on track for the rest of their life, because this is important. This is really important. And, you know, it's taken me 50 years. I'm 50. I just turned 50 in February. It's taken me 50 years to I feel so good at 50. And I feel better at 50 than I ever felt before, honestly. But I think it's because the Lord is taking me to this point where he's given me this ministry platform. You know, if I can do this, and y'all feel better about yourself, and you help the people within the 4 walls of your home, and then you guys collectively go out and help the people in your church, in your community, in your schools, in your workplace, then I feel like I've done something for the Lord. So he puts us all in our different places, and I'm so, so thankful for that. Thank you, Robin. Thank you. Thank you. And I love to hold in-class person. I love people. So anything that I do has to do with people, and I love my in-person classes, but I've enjoyed this just as much. I really, really have. My in-person classes, I do the same thing over and over again. But there's different people in there, and it's just like, honestly, it's just like reading the Bible. Every time you read the Bible, you pick up something new. Every time you hear the Shibboleth program, because it's not going to change. Just like the Bible, it doesn't change, but when we read it, our mind and our heart is prepared to learn some new nugget, and that's the same way with Shibboleth. We hear the same thing, but we pick up something new or decide to stick with something. Yay! Awesome. Thank you, Pat. And yay, Maria has lost 8 pounds with her Shibby birthday of March 8th. Way to go, Maria. That is awesome. Oh, good. Robin had the breakfast casserole while watching this class. Yay. Oh, she shared it with her neighbors, and they loved it too. Yay. And you lost 5.2 pounds on her first week in Shibboleth. Now, Robin, you're from Kentucky. Is that correct? Yes, awesome, awesome. I try to keep up where people are from. Well, you know, there's some other ways that besides just teaching, like learning and teaching, I really like technology. And so I've been trying new things with Zoom and Instagram. So I went live twice last night on Instagram. It's called The Shibby Show, all squeezed together. So if you're on Instagram and you go back, you can click on my Instagram story. Actually, I only have one live on my story because then I went live with Tony Davis on his story. And then Tony Davis, if you want to like him on Instagram, it is I_am_Tony_C_Davis. If you want to go live there, he's kind of interviewing me on the program. So I just like to learn new things all the time. And I appreciate y'all joining in with me. And we're going to do this together. Well, you're welcome, Laurie. If y'all don't mind, I'm just going to close us out with a prayer. And so let's just join together. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this time. Thank you for technology. You knew that technology was coming, and you've given it to us to be able to stay connected and learn. And Father, we know how important being together is, but I thank you for this technology. I thank you for each and every person that is listening and participating live. I also thank you for the people that will hear this secondhand, not live, but will hear it when they rewatch this video. I lift them up to you. And I pray for success for each and every one of these people. And I pray, Lord, that you help them understand that this is a lifestyle, help them find the right foods that they enjoy. And I just lift them all up to you. And Father, right now, while our country and actually our world is going through this coronavirus, I pray in the name of Jesus that it is stopped in its tracks, Father. And I lift up the people to you that have been affected because they're ill with it, or they have family members that are ill with it. And Lord, just stop it in its tracks. And but we pray, Father, that whatever is going on, that you are glorified in this situation. We love you very, very much. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Y'all have a great day. Oh, Travis is doing a class at noon. And if you go to the Shibboleth public page, there's a link on there. I posted it on my page. Join that and you can get some more learning today. Because Travis is so good. He is so good. He's a great teacher, and he loves y'all very, very much. Otherwise, he wouldn't run this as a ministry. He'd be one of those people that are trying to get into your pockets in this multi-billion-dollar industry, but that is not what the Lord has led him to do. So, love you guys. Amy, I will send you the link. I will personally send you the link, Amy. You're welcome. Hey, Amy, anything you think you might ever be missing, just text me, okay? Because I can send you the links. All right. Bye, y'all.